When you're asking yourself, is this person up to the task? You already know the answer. You don't ask that question of superstars.
Over the course of your life, what have been the most important leadership lessons you've learned?
I think one of the most important lessons I've learned, certainly since becoming CEO, to use a sports analogy, is to not leave the pitcher in the game for too long. In baseball, oftentimes you'll see a pitcher come out strong and their arm begins to tire as the game progresses. The manager comes out of the dugout, asks the pitcher, especially top pitchers, star pitchers, how they're doing. And inevitably, the pitcher will respond, "I'm doing fine, go take a seat." A lot of times you'll see the manager go back to the dugout and then the pitcher gives up a home run within the next few batters and the team will lose. It's really not the pitcher's role to be dictating what the manager does. It's up to the manager to make that decision. And in roughly 20 years of managing people, I've never had anyone come to me and raise their hand and say they can't do their job. Not once. The real key in that situation is not necessarily determining whether or not the person is capable of doing the job in that moment, because you wouldn't be asking the question if they were. It's what you're going to do about it. For far too many managers and executives, and I'm certainly among those, you just look the other way, you rationalize it, you're fearful of the uncertainty, of change, of demoralizing the team, of how quickly you're going to be able to recruit a replacement. A whole litany of things and concerns will sometimes not lead to the right outcome. And what I've learned over time is that in situations like that, you should sit down with the person and say, you know, we have an issue. There's a gap between where the bar is set for this role and your performance. I'm rooting for you. I'm the reason you're in this role, and I'm going to work with you to do everything within my power to get you up to the bar, if not over it. Here's the timetable. And I'm going to be completely open with you on the progress that we're making. And to the extent we're not able to get up to that bar, let's think about a different role for you, either within the organization or potentially outside of the organization.
How long is the timetable typically that you give them to get where they need to be?
There's no cookie cutter approach for this. It depends on the person, depends on the gap, depends on the role, depends on the timing. So that's arguably the most valuable lesson I've learned. I made that mistake a few times, and it can be a painful lesson.